Normally I'm in the other part of the garage, but today I'm next to the doors, and as you can see here, I have an insulation kit for my garage doors. You know, we're in Michigan, it's 30 degrees outside right now, it's cold. It's too cold, I would say, to work comfortably, and so I'm thinking of different heating solutions, but it doesn't really matter if I had these big panels, you know, just exposed. Huge loss of heat, and so with this little kit from Menards, it was like $60 before tax. I'm gonna fill up these panels, and that way when I am heating, I can retain more of the heat and hopefully have a much smaller bill. I'm only gonna need a couple tools, so I have this, not jig, right angle tool. Now I think this is meant for drywall, but what's great about it is I'm gonna measure the cavity, I can set it to what I need it to be, and then I'm done measuring. So we'll get into the details in a little bit here, but you really only need this tool. I think it's like $15 or $20, a tape measure, and then you just need a blade. That's it, and maybe safety goggles. So let's dive in and we'll talk a bit more about if this works or not. I will say that I did a test with my little heater. It's over in the corner, maybe you can hear it. With it set to high, it took 10 minutes to go 3 degrees. So I at least have some data to go with, and it seems like the first 10 minutes or 30 minutes, it went up 9 degrees, and then just kind of leveled off. And so it'll be interesting to compare those results after I install this. All right, let's get to it. This side is the easiest because you just have to get one measurement. The other side you need two, and I'll explain that once we get there. So all I'm gonna do is put this right here. Doesn't be 100% accurate. You want it close, you can always trim off. And it looks like I'm getting 46 3/4. So I think we'll do just a little bit over 46 3/4. That way it's nice and snug. So let's go over and cut it. So there's a couple steps here that are really easy. I set this to be 46 3/4, or just shy of that. All I'm gonna do here is put this here. Okay, let's see, line up there, and then we'll just mark right here. There. So now we know where to cut. Oops, gotta get this in correctly. And now we'll score it. So I'm just gonna put this here. And again, I don't have to have it 100% accurate. Obviously, I wanna get it close. It's a little cold, but still easier just working with your hands. Okay, so let's show you guys what we're looking at. Okay, so as you see, it will make a little bit of a mess. So my fingers are not in line. I don't need to go too deep this first pass. I just want to cut through the foil. Then I can put this to the side. And now I'm going to go through it one more time. Just do the best you can. Okay. Sever it right here. All right. Let's tear this. And yeah, there's going to be some cleanup afterward. And now let's go fit the panel in place. I don't know if the first clip is going to make it in because it's a little harder to get leverage with this, but let me show you how to do this one. Because I'm going to be pushing it in eventually to go behind here, I'm actually going to line it up here as best I can. And then I'm going to push this down, that way it flexes. And it has the ribs on the other side, that way it will flex a little easier. So far so good. Okay, let's see here. Again, when there's that push. Let's bring this in a little more. All right, there we go. Watch your fingers a little bit there. Keep pushing. There we go. Keep on going. Then push, get this one in. All right, that's in. Two more to go on this side. This one's a little more complicated, as I mentioned in the first installation of the panel, just because this isn't hollow, this side is, so you have to have a separate little strip for that, but not too bad. So this one is a little bit different, like I mentioned, because, as you can see here, there's a cavity here, not on this side, you also have a cavity on this side as well. So I'm using this little Paolini pocket rule. You can use anything you want. But that way, I'm gonna take a little measurement so I can see exactly how deep the cavity is. And then what I can do is, this will make it easy to transfer the measurement onto the polystyrene when I'm cutting. That way I don't have to measure out every single time. So I just butt it up to here, cut it, and we're good to go. So I'll put one right here, and then I can cut it as if it were no cavity at all, just like how I did this one right here. So we're gonna do that right now. So instead of using cutting it off the brand new sheet, I'm using the leftovers from the other one. And I don't see any anomalies or stuff that's sticking out like I did on the other side. So I just take this right here, and you can see how it folds real easy. For the smaller piece. And so now I'll create that one longer piece. So I'm gonna do this for every single one of these first, and then I'll batch them out that way. So, all right, see you guys in a moment. All right, let's see how we did. I measured 46.5. Now, one thing I will say is, if you just wanna shave off half an inch or something, it's gonna be a little difficult with this, but I have a little wiggle room. It doesn't hit the edge of this completely. I mean, it's not a big deal. Overall, you know, I'm having a net gain than a net loss. I'm not gonna be that picky. So let's do this. Again, we gotta push it in this way, so start this way. Also, I'm not even bothering with these cobwebs. I don't care. Those are pushed out. Good. Careful there. Okay. Alright. Push it in. Oh, lost a little bit of edge there. Not a big worry. Okay. And I think we're almost there. Did I do this right? Let's see here. It's all the way in. Now I gotta, okay, this panel is not seated 100%, so I gotta move out the way. Other side's a little easier, but all right, there we go. There we go. All right, here we go. So, not trickier, but it does take a little longer just because these aren't fastened in. I think I've seen some people where they will actually put screws in there. I'm not going that all out. But let's finish these other three and we'll be good. As you can see, I just finished doing the entire wall. But there's something else I want to do. There's a big gap up here, and I got this foam from a package. And so I wanted to just measure the distance here and just shove it in. This door is not a good door. It's not good, so we got gaps. But let's see if we can do the extra step. That way we're not losing more heat. So I'm just, again, measuring here. And I love using this tool. It's nice to really figure out the distances and then mark that. So again, you can always go a little bit oversized and cut to form. So let's see here. Alrighty. Where are we at? Okay, tie it up. Now you guys can't see this part, but this is the distance right here. We'll cut the foam and we'll fill it in there. But already I am seeing a difference. I did a test where we set our little heater to high, and that's 15,000 BTU. It took 10 minutes to go up 3 degrees, and I think after about really an hour, kind of flatlined. It went from being 3 degrees every 10 minutes to about 1 or so. But already at low setting, it went from 30 to 40 and still maintained that. I think it's above 40. So far, I do think it's making a difference. Currently, it is 43.5 degrees, and that's important because I want to see what the temperature is like in an hour from now. Now, I was using this to heat, and before I did the insulation in here, I had to have it high in order to get it to a reasonable temp. And even then, it still wasn't great. It only took it up about 12 or 14 degrees. I've been running this on low instead of 15,000 BU, 9,000 BTU, and it took it up over 13 degrees in the hour and a half or so that I've been here, maybe 2 hours, can't remember. So getting this insulation in here is really slowing down the heat loss because, I mean, I think it's like 6 by 7 feet. And so it's taking up a significant portion of the garage. This garage is 20 by 21. And so one quarter of the garage is just uninsulated. And now it's much better. Ultimately, we're gonna have blown-in insulation in the roof when it gets replaced in a few weeks. And that should also make a big difference. And then I plan on putting stall mats on the floor, both for the comfort, you know, just easier on the back compared to concrete, a thermal barrier, and then that way if things were to fall, like my tools and such, it's not gonna dent them and it's not gonna hurt the rubber. So I'll check back with you guys in an hour and I'll give you guys my final thoughts. All right, so how did we do? Well, we started at 43.5 degrees, and then when I last checked an hour later, we went down to 39.5. So that's a 4-degree difference over an hour, which I don't think is bad at all. You know, I don't have figures before this really, but from what I remember, it did take less time to go much lower. So in the past, it would not have taken an hour to lose 4 degrees. It probably would have taken like 15, maybe 30 minutes. So we're really slowing the heat transfer out of here. I think for $130, it's worth it. Ultimately, I'm going to need to do more insulation on the ceiling, but you know, when this is 1/4 of the entire space, it's a pretty big heat loss. And so again, I think it was worth it. I would recommend anyone to do these. It was not very difficult at all. I think the instructions could be a little clearer because they didn't really talk about putting the extra little piece there. It was a little confusing, but the way I did it worked out really well. I'm gonna try using an electric heater to see how well that keeps things. And to be honest, I'm not trying to make this 75 degrees right now. I mean, that'd be awesome. But even it being 55, 60, I think is a workable temperature. You know, when you're working with power tools and such, you don't want to wear gloves because rotating things can suck that in and injure you badly. And so right around 55, 60, I can work without gloves pretty comfortably. My fingers won't be numb and I can get more work done. So thank you for watching this. Hopefully this was able to help you if you're looking at doing this for your garage. Again, very simple step, easy results, or quick results rather. And if you have any questions, leave it below in the comment. If you like this video, click the little like button. That does help me to share with more people. And I'll see you guys in the next one.